In a story of Rabbi Nachman, there's this 13 stories. There's a story about a king that had his close circle was advisors, his close family. The advisors among the close circle was well, the queen, the daughter of the queen, the strong man. Then the daughter of the king and the strong man got married, and they had a baby. There was one of the advisors was the wise man, and there was a poet there, and just different people, and each of these people needed to renew their strength by going to a certain place, and the king was able to show each person the way to renew their strength. So at one point, there was this whirlwind came into the world, and they all got separated, and couldn't find each other anymore. Before that, the people of the world had actually accepted among themselves, among the different tribes of the earth. Each different tribe had decided a certain trade or a certain thing is the major goal of man, and they would find like some person that they thought had fulfilled that goal, and that made them that leader. So a certain group of people decided that physical strength is the main thing, and so they found some strong man and made him the leader. Another group of people thought that having money is the big thing, so they found some rich person, made him the leader. So at the time when this whirlwind had happened, and all these strong men and all the people of the king had got separated, well, the strong man of the king he found himself eventually by the group of the people that valued strength, and they actually saw that he was even stronger than their king. And their king said, "Okay, wow, they just put down his throne and said, you should be the king because you're stronger." The same thing with the wise man, and the same thing with there was another one that was rich, and all the people of the king had become the leaders of these different groups, and they still couldn't find each other, until eventually, they started, discovering each other, hearing about each other, and they did get back together. So this explains my theory about, this is like the basis for my idea that at the time of the first temple, that God's light came into the world. There was like a revelation of God's light during the first temple of the Jewish people during that period, like an awakening, but not just a 1 second awakening. This is awakening that took was, I guess, from the time of probably even before King David, during the tabernacle period, from the time that the Jewish people had come into Israel. So there was like 200. A couple hundred years before that, and there was the 400 years of the temple. So this light, I guess you'd have to say, was like a 600-year period until the temple was destroyed. And that's like the king being together with all of his men, the ten spheres, I guess you'd say. And then they all went into at the time of the destruction of the temple, they all went into exile. So the wise man of the king and the beautiful daughter. So they went to Athens, right, where wisdom and beauty were the main things. Other spheres also probably, don't know them all. I guess it was politics, literature there, music, a lot of stuff, and other aspects of this holiness went to other areas like the Far East. Where at that same time, that's actually the beginning of the sutras by the Hindus, like the sutras that talk about just the one God that's above, the only true, the Brahman, the only true existence, and ways of dvekas with him. But I want to mention that since all of these men of the king were separated, so in each of and for the Jewish people, what was left? Well, was the lowest of all the spheres, that was Malchut. That Malchut ain't that it has nothing in itself. In other words, that's how the Zohar says it. The Malchut has it can receive from the higher lights, but has no light in itself. So the Jewish people were best left basically with this vessel that can contain all the lights but doesn't have light in itself. So it's the vessel that puts them all together, can put them all together. And that light basically got condensed into the Talmud and the Mishnah, and that's sort of the basis of the spirituality of Klal Yisrael since then until now. That's the essence of the oral law, that can receive the higher lights, but doesn't have light in itself. It can receive the higher lights. So I wanted to what's the point today is I wanted to mention was that the fact that each of the spheres went into got separated. So that means that the dark side can attach itself on each of these things because of the separation aspect of them. So in the Far East, where like the crown went, so like obviously the klipot of like idolatry got mixed into that. And in Athens, because also in Athens, like other aspects of the higher holiness didn't go there, so also the klipot could attach themselves, and there was a limited, and they couldn't, and it didn't continue after, like as it fell apart. They had that war with Sparta, and that was pretty much the end of the greatness of Athens after they had been subjected to Sparta at that time, and. Klal Yisrael also, Jewish people also, because all this higher light had left them, so the klipot also can attach on, so the basic redemption, according to this idea, would be to, in a coherent, logical, consistent way, would bring all these lights together in the proper vessel. Okay, well, thank you.